I want to just introduce myself. My name is Jim Masitis. I am the Director of Group Benefits here at OCI. And we have now a super exciting opportunity, great partnership with Pacific Life, and Tammy and Courtney. And what we're going to do today is they're kind of going to go through the products and a little bit of information about what they're offering in our market now, and actually other markets that we do live, work, breathe in. Um, but I just ask everyone if you can give what do we have, an hour here or half hour, a little bit of time to, listen to what they have to say and present. And I mean, it's going to be a phenomenal product to roll into 1/1 with. So, I mean, it'd be a good opportunity to get in front of this now and have the conversations with your customers now and what Pacific Life does offer. So, Tammy, Courtney, go ahead.
Sounds good. Hi, everybody. I'm Tammy Martin. I'm the sales consultant here in Omaha. So I work all of Nebraska. Courtney's on the line with us as well. Courtney, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. Courtney Hansen. I actually lived in Omaha for a couple years, so if you ever knew a Courtney Kastelik, that was me in my prior life. But I am excited to be here with you all today. I'm the sales consultant for Minnesota and the Dakotas, and previously was with Principal for 10 years.
Yeah, and we actually have Jessica Baker on the line too. I won't throw her under the bus or make her do anything crazy, but she's our new account executive for the Midwest. She lives here in Omaha, so she'll be a great presence for us as well, and help support our team and help support everything we're going to talk about today. Let me share my screen if I can figure this out. Hang on, guys. There we go. Okay. So some of you may have heard our story before. Pacific Life is obviously known in the industry mostly for life and annuities. Pacific Life has been around for almost 160 years. They just were named #1 for life insurance in the US and I think #7 for annuities. So definitely a well-known company. We've been around for a while, but specifically the benefits division, we just started this really as a new venture within our big overall Pacific Life company. So luckily we have the financial rating, the financial backing behind us of the overall Pacific Life company, excuse me, and the brand recognition, which is huge. So Courtney and I will go through, we're going to kind of tag team this presentation, but if you guys have questions, definitely encourage them throughout. I want to make sure you guys get out of this what you came here for. So jump in, chat anytime anything comes up, and we'll make sure we answer your questions as we go. Let's see if I can figure out. There we go. Okay, so here's kind of an outline of what we're going to cover. We want to give you guys at least a high level overview of kind of the how and the why we entered the market, products we offered, and make sure we kind of hit on all those big topics of what differentiates us in the market. This is what I just mentioned. This is really instrumental for us because we really are a new venture. We started from scratch. We built from the ground up. But again, Pacific Life financial rating and Pacific Life brand recognition behind us is really instrumental. It's really what's given us the boost as we enter the market for the first time as well. Financial rating for Pacific Life, obviously that's important. Again, new venture, strong financial rating and company behind us. So a little bit of a different story being that we are a new venture. So now the opportunity. Pacific Life, let me click one more here. Pacific Life really kicked around the can a little bit. Do we buy into technology? Do we buy into an existing book of business? How are we going to approach the market and enter the market for the first time? So I would say 2.5, 3 years ago is when we entered the market for the first time, which is really young for a carrier, especially when we've got big legacy carriers in our market. So we're young, we are developing, but that's kind of what makes us different and allows us to be nimble and stand out and differentiate ourselves. We did decide to start with a clean slate. We're building everything that we're doing from the ground up. So that allows us to build for what the market needs today. It allows us to build new technology, new products, new policies for what the market and what our industry needs today, which has been a big differentiator. This slide is important really because of where we're all located. So I think a lot of us are in the Midwest, maybe even more so in Nebraska specifically. So based on this study, 99% of businesses in the US have fewer than 500 employees. They employ nearly half of the total workforce. We all know working with these small companies that if they even have an HR staff, they are stretched thin. They wear multiple hats within the company. So they need somebody to come in that can just make it quick, make it simple. How can we get this done and how can we serve them and help them meet all the needs that they have as a small company? So that's really our goal. There's a lot of common pain points within the industry, billing errors, member management, billing reconciliation, service. I mean, you could name a handful of things. That is what our workforce benefits division was really designed and targeting when we built our products and when we built our systems. So our connectivity strategy, this is huge. In a nutshell, we have built one system. We have brand new technology, but the important key feature is that we have built one system that houses everything that we do. So from really quote to claim, we have one system, so it's full transparency. You can see through from start to finish. Information persists through our system as well, which allows us to do everything that we're about to talk about. We have one system, we have brand new technology, so it makes everything streamlined, more seamless. It allows us to create a lot of efficiencies in the market as well. So I'm going to play this video for you. It's just a couple minutes long. Somebody let me know if sound doesn't work, but we should be able to hear it.
Employee benefits implementation and management can be complex. So at Pacific Life, we decided to take a greenfield approach to make it better. We built a 100% digital ecosystem from the ground up, free from legacy technology constraints. The result? A seamless, friction-free experience designed with you in mind. It's time to set up Evergreen Enterprises employee benefits. And although Anisha is pleased with all the Pacific Life insurance products they chose for their employees, she dreads the implementation process. Anisha feels internal angst because of her previous experience with another carrier. But Mike knows something exciting that Anisha doesn't yet. Mike knows with Pacific Life and Evergreen Enterprises benefits administration platform, that case setup won't take the normal 6 to 9 weeks of back and forth calls and meetings. Instead, Pacific Life's case setup takes just 30 minutes. But that's not the only process that is dramatically shortened. Once their case is set up, the data exchange happens in near real time, allowing the group to be enrollment ready in minutes and making ongoing employee changes automatic. And with Pacific Life's easy evidence of insurability steps, employees complete a simple online questionnaire, taking only 7 minutes, and receive an instant decision 95% of the time. And when it comes time for Evergreen Enterprises to pay its premium bill, Anisha is amazed that her team will save about 2 to 3 days each month because they don't have to reconcile the billing. Another digital advantage with Pacific Life is event-based claims. The insured tells us what happened, and we do the rest, automatically identifying applicable coverages and helping maximize benefit payments. With all the digital features that Pacific Life offers, Anisha and the employees at Evergreen Enterprises are happy. And Mike is happy, knowing his client and their employees have fast and accurate access to all their benefit needs. And they'll be glad to renew, which means he gets to spend more time making all his clients happy. Pacific Life, the 100% digital ecosystem that's revolutionizing employee benefits. To learn more, visit pacificlife.com/workforce benefits.
Okay, so that gives just a quick snip into our digital ecosystem. Courtney and I will touch on some of these things in a little more detail as well, but this is really our biggest differentiator. And you'll hear both of us say probably more than we need to, we have one system and we have new technology, but that is going to be key for everything that we're talking about. We both came from well-established carriers in the market. And those carriers, along with every other carrier in the market, have just old legacy systems that put a lot of handcuffs on people. So with new technology, one system allows us to streamline all of our processes, create this one digital ecosystem that houses everything that we're doing. The efficiencies that it creates, not only for us as the carrier and for OCI, it gets passed down to you guys as the brokers and also your clients. Timing is huge on this as well, and we'll get into that a little bit. So this right here, we connect with Ben admin platforms. We connect through a handful of our preferred platforms. We also have internal solutions for those clients that may not have a platform or haven't ever entertained it, don't want to pay for it, whatever the reason. So right now, who you guys will see Pacific Life teamed up with is Employee Navigator. That's a big player in our market. ADP, Celerix, and bswift. We tried to get a wide variety of the platforms just for small clients, for medium, for large size clients, just so we can capture everybody within the market. Again, we have our own internal solution for those that may not have a platform, but looking right here at this timeline, when we connect with a platform, let's just use Navigator, for example, the integrated solutions timeline on the left applies to Navigator. So we have API case set up with Employee Navigator that directly pulls from our system. You don't have to have somebody building a case, plugging in the evidence rules, plugging in GI, everything you have to plug in from start to finish. This pulls over directly from our system, directly from the sold proposal. So it can happen in less than 30 minutes. This timeline here says 30 minutes. I've seen it happen as quick as 7. So it really can be the click of a button to get this API pull started. And it's directly, again, from our system into Navigator, and it's all set up. There are a few manual steps, but again, it can happen 30 minutes, clear down to 7. It's a very quick process. Data exchange is another big piece here. Member management is huge. API connections are in play here as well. Navigator is building out their API connections for data exchange, so it's not available on their end yet. What we're doing in the meantime is sending an EDI feed twice a week just to make up for that. So data management, wherever possible, we will be API connected. Again, on a Navigator platform, we're sending EDI feeds Tuesdays and Fridays, I believe it is. So we'll be as real time as we can get there as well. Evidence of insurability, this is another really big piece. This is all digital. No matter what platform a group is on, EOI is going to be digital, where a member is going to receive an emailed link when EOI is triggered. They go through the questions. It takes about 10 minutes to go through these online questions, and they get kicked back a response within 95% of the time. Obviously, there's a handful that may get kicked out for additional information. That additional information is gathered from Pacific Life. So it helps to streamline the process quite a bit. API here as well, wherever available. If not, that's captured in those feeds, or you guys as brokers can update the system as well. But you can see from case setup to member management, we are trying to streamline it, make it more efficient, and just make it as quick as possible. If we look here in this middle section where it says digitally enabled, this is any other platform besides the big 4 that we partner with. So there's a lot of UKG, there's a lot of Paylocity, there's a lot of Ben admin platforms. So we're not eliminating anybody. We can work with any platform. It just may not be the full API connection that we have with our preferred partners. On the right side here, this is just your more traditional method. Census enrollment, no platform. This is what you may see in the market when all the technology isn't involved. Now, I mentioned if a group does not have a Ben admin platform and they haven't ever entertained that, they still get the digital solutions through Pacific Life. We are setting them up starting with 9/1 effective dates and moving forward. That will be member managed by Employee Navigator. Again, our own internal solution. You don't have to have the license. You don't have to build the case. That's all on Pacific Life. So if you send OCI a case, they don't have a platform, we're going to set them up within our digital solution. and member manage via Navigator. So we'll make sure that you have the login, you guys can manage it, you can have the the group manage it, however you want to handle that. But you'll be provided that Employee Navigator login, and you can member manage that way to take advantage of the full digital solution. If we flip ahead here, this talks about really our big four. These are the four that we are the most connected with. These are our preferred platforms right now. And you can just see our connectivity capabilities throughout. ADP, Employee Navigator, API case setup, that's been huge. Not only does it allow for faster case setup, but it dramatically cuts down on errors as well. When it's API pulled straight from a sold proposal, you'll see as we go through a sold case process, we are maybe double and triple checking. This is your sold proposal, correct? And this is why. It pulls directly from a sold proposal within our system and sets it up for you guys within minutes within the BenAdmin platforms. You can see full capabilities there. We are, with our new technology and everything just being built out, we have the capabilities internally to be API connected throughout the entire process. We're kind of at the mercy of the BenAdmin platforms. And obviously Navigator, Purchasing Ease, some of their connectivity has been pushed to the back burner. So I know data exchange and even E of I is on their radar. So when they're ready to go, we'll flip that switch as well. So just know this will always be enhanced. This will always be improved as connectivity gets stronger. Last part I will cover, and then I'm going to kick it to Courtney, from sale to enrollment as fast as you want to move. This really is true. We move as fast as you guys as brokers need to move. We truly have had a case set up on a Friday. We were enrollment ready on a Monday with the BenAdmin platform. I would say from experience, the only thing that could potentially slow down a process is getting everybody contracted and licensed. OCI is handled on their end. We just need to get some end brokers every once in a while licensed. That really, from my experience, has been the only thing that holds up this process. But again, we move as quick as you want to move. So if you need it done within a couple of days, we can absolutely do it, even though we're incorporating a BenAdmin platform. Because we have all the capabilities through that new technology and API setup, we can absolutely get it done and get it flipped. And I encourage you guys, again, if you have any questions, definitely jump in and we'll be happy to answer as we go. I'm going to kick it to Courtney to go over our customer experience.
So we'll talk through now customer experience as far as it relates to Pacific Life. And Pacific Life has a really true goal on providing an excellent service experience. In our first couple of rounds of surveys for the groups that we've had installed in the last couple of years, we have very high ratings from our customers as it relates to experience, claims, and getting things set up. So next slide, please, Tammy. I will talk through the guided digital implementation from a HR perspective. EOI, our dynamic billing is a little bit different, our claims experience, and then our portal access. Next slide, please. So Tammy in the video touched on this a little bit, but from a digital implementation perspective, whether or not your client is using a BenAdmin system, we're always going to have what we call our digital implementation experience. So in the past with other carriers, you might have seen paper, PDF forms, e-signatures on the PDF to get the paperwork complete. With our digital implementation, the goal is really that everything we have that you've given us on the original RFP, data on the case, is all going to flow directly into that implementation paperwork. So we would email that paperwork over to you and your client to work through together, fill out things like waiting periods, the questions that are on your typical implementation paperwork. And we'll also set up a call with you and your client for the first couple. As many as you need support on, our implementation team can help walk through this paperwork with you until you get familiar with Pacific Life. Case setup, 30 minutes or so from there. Once you fill out the paperwork, again, we move as fast as you do. So if you fill out that paperwork right away, if and when you wanted to turn on the case for enrollment within a BenAdmin, we can turn that around very quickly. The other benefit of having everything so connected in that one administrative platform is that the benefit highlight sheets are also ready right away because, again, all that information flows right over from our proposal. So when you want the benefit summaries, we can create the benefit summaries right away for your open enrollment and for your meetings. Next slide, please. So EOI, Tammy touched on this a little bit as well, but evidence of insurability. Gone are the days of filling out a paper EOI form, mailing it into the carrier, hoping to hear back, and then going online to see if it has been approved or denied. 95% of the time, we're going to get immediate decision. So again, the employees who do elect over the GI amount, they're going to get an email, they're going to log in, take about 10 minutes of their time to walk through that EOI, and then 95% of the time they'll be approved or declined right away. For the other 5%, there could be some additional information that we're looking for to make that final decision. But our goal there is to cut down on your time having to answer follow-up questions. Have I been approved? Have I been denied? Making sure we keep everything up to date for the billing as well. So less time administering EOI status and more time back in the market with your clients. I'll mention quickly, Celerix, if anyone's using Celerix, does now have a true API connection for the digital EOI. So as decisions are made, they will load automatically onto the Celerix platform. As Tammy mentioned, coming soon with Navigator and ADP as well. Next slide. So I love talking about our new dynamic billing because I have an account management background. And so raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by reconciling a bill based on ads, terms, changes, salary changes that were not made in time for the billing statement. So we overpaid, we underpaid. I can specifically remember a time in my life in Omaha where I spent days on end reconciling a bill over $7. I was going to mail them $7 to let's just make it even. So we want to get rid of that. What we do differently with our bill is that we actually bill in arrears. So if you have a 1-1 case, there will be a sample bill that produces for 1-1, letting you know, here's what we saw from a benefits perspective, here's what everyone elected, here's what we would anticipate you will owe. But throughout the month of January then, any ads, changes, terms, salary increases that are processed in the Ben admin system or online, they're all going to be on the final billing statement that would be on 2-1. So essentially you're paying for the month of January, 2-1, and all of those changes are going to be taken into account. The bill does also include a change report that's going to tell you specifically what changes were made, which I think is also really helpful. In my prior life, I feel like we didn't know what changes were made on the bills, hence why we were reconciling the bill. We didn't know what we were looking for. So our goal is really to make it clear what you owe, when you owe it, and take everything into account so that we're not overpaying, underpaying, and have to figure out the reconciliation piece. And again, I know it's a little bit different from a lot of the other carriers, but so far we've had really good feedback once clients get used to it and are familiar with the billing process. And a lot of those clients have turned on the electronic bill once they've seen it in action, trust it, feel like it's accurate. I like to talk ahead of the slides, so I won't probably walk you through this true example, but we can send this over to you if you're ever questioning what's this going to look like. They will receive email notices with the billing statements. Heading into claims, we also do things a little bit differently from a claims perspective. And again, our goal is to make the employee experience easy because, again, even though I'm a benefit professional and I understand benefits, I still probably could not tell you what I elected when I came over to Pacific Life. I don't really remember if I elected short-term disability or hospital indemnity or critical illness. And so from a Pacific Life perspective for employees, when they go to file a claim, I don't need to remember what coverages I signed up for. I just need to remember what happened. And so I'll use the example as someone, I had a baby last year. So let's say I did enroll for short-term disability and hospital indemnity with my employer. I would go online to Pacific Life's site to file the claim. We use an event-based claims model. So when I go in, instead of me needing to remember I have short-term disability and hospital indemnity and file 2 claims for each product, I would go online and say I had a baby. From there, our system is going to ask the questions required to be able to file claims for the coverages that I'm enrolled in. So that at the end of the day, the system might tell me, okay, you qualify for X short-term disability benefit and X for your hospital indemnity benefit. We do also have a phone option for those who'd like to call in and talk to a claim member of our claims team. Similarly, they're going to ask questions in a way that's going to help us understand what they're eligible for. So we will follow the event-based approach. And then finally, we do have a paper option for those who truly want it. I know there's still a lot of rural groups in Nebraska, as well as outstate Minnesota, Dakotas, where I work. So if you have a client that loves paper, while it's not our go-to, we do have that option for them. Aside from the claims approach, we also have really strong claims support. We have very experienced claims examiners. I believe it's something like 14 to 20 years of experience each, or average experience of our claims examiners. We've got a clinical review team, and our vocational resources are also experts in what they do. We'll touch a little bit on this as we get to the products, but we have very strong vocational rehab benefits tied to our disability products as well. So all in all, goal with claims is one event happens, there's one submission for your client or employee, so make it easy. They need to know what happens. We'll tell them what all they're eligible for so they're not missing out on any benefits that they forgot that they signed up for at annual enrollment. The next piece is portal access. So do your clients, do their employees have access to a portal to be able to see information related to their benefits? Yes, they do. We have 3 experiences. So we've got a broker GA portal for you all to be able to log in, and you can actually look at quotes and the status of quotes, downloading quotes that you've requested from Pacific Life. You can onboard your new clients through there. You can view in-force policy details, download the certificates and the benefit summaries, as well as access product information and marketing materials. We don't have the employee dental ID cards out there quite yet, but it is on the list of very important things to get onto the broker portal, because I know we get a lot of questions about dental ID cards. I think that's a #1 question from an ex-account manager. The employer portal also has a lot of great information out there for the HR decision makers of the group. They can view the employee's benefit status, they can set up their bill, they can download the bill out online in the change report. There's support and FAQs out there. We've got a live chat feature, and then they also will soon have access to be able to pull dental ID cards themselves, if not already. I can't remember if that has launched or not. We're constantly moving because, as Tammy mentioned, we're kind of a startup within a large organization. So we do work very quickly to continue to add new things to the portal. And then last but not least, employees also have a portal where they can go in, see what they have as far as coverage. There's a lot of FAQs. They can access their dental and vision ID cards, search for in-network providers, use the cost estimators, chat, and then very soon they'll also be able to view and manage their claims out on there. So what I would just mention with these 3 portals is, because we're new, we understand that everything's not perfect day one. I do think there's great functionality in there and what you are able to access, but we move quickly. So if you don't see something that you like that other carriers have, please let us know. We can let you know if it's on the roadmap already or get it added to the roadmap as a recommendation of things that you'd like. We are very, very open to feedback, and we want to make the experience what you need from your carriers. And not necessarily tied to portals, but I'll mention it, related to dental vision ID cards, we do also still send physical ID cards. I know that's another hot topic. Next slide, please. So products. Tammy and I thought for today's purposes with the webinar, we're not going to do a deep dive on each product, but we're going to hit the highlights on each of them so you have a high level awareness of what you can expect, what our differentiators are as it relates to each product. We would love the opportunity to look at any of your upcoming RFPs. And what I would say is both of us are very happy to get on a call with you, walk through the proposal, go into the weeds as you like on a case-by-case basis. Or if you simply want to set up time and truly dig into contract language, please do it. I was on the individual DI side for 5 years, so I love looking at a DI contract if you're ever interested. But we'll go through the high level points for today. So I'll go through dental, vision, and life, and then I'll kick it back to Tammy to walk you through DI and the Worksite products. So starting out with dental, we do lease our dental network. It's a large dental network. We lease several UHC, Solstice, Dentamax, Minnesota Premier, among others. And I believe we're very close to leasing an additional network by the end of the year, which should expand our reach even further. As it relates to plan design, we've got a lot of the features that other carriers are going to have, very standard from a 180, 50% co-insurance, $50 deductibles, a lot of flexibility in how we put the plan together, matching what someone might have at their other carrier. Some of the pieces that I like to point out with our dental plan, or more of the cool features, is as our product managers put these together, their goal was really just to do things in a way that we're not going to have what might seem like a small claim issue to us, but it's a big issue to the group, the owner's wife when something comes up. So things like composites are always included. There's no missing tooth clause. That's always going to be standard in our contract. We've got a maximum rollover to allow folks to roll over additional funds to the following year as long as they're getting cleanings. Our ortho, for those who have ortho on the plan, they're going to get a full max, even if treatment was in progress when they move over to Pacific Life. So our goal, making the product easy to use and again, eliminating any maybe small pain points. We do have the ability to run 360 reports for you, show you who's in the network. If you're moving from another carrier, we can make sure that there's not going to be a whole lot of disruption for your group. So just know Tammy and I can help you with that if you're considering us for the dental. On the vision side of the house, our vision is the iMed network. It's the Insight network for those of you who are familiar with the iMed network. A whole lot of retailers as well as independent providers within the iMed network. We can set it up again fairly straightforward as it relates to plan design, but if you do have a group who really wants a rich plan design, higher maxes, we have the ability to use what iMed calls their 360 plan. It's going to allow them to get higher benefits when they're seeing plus providers, which are going to be like your lens crafters, your Target opticals. There's a lot more providers in there. And then they also do some really cool things as far as quarterly discounts. They're always changing special discounts if you're seeing specific providers. So something to keep in mind if you move vision with us, just be on the lookout for those resources. I believe that the employees can access that as they're looking up providers to see what they might be eligible for if they see a certain provider. So lots of cool things going on that I often forget to do when I see the eye doctor, but I like to point it out so that you don't forget to remind your employees, or employers and their employees. Life insurance, not a whole lot of additional bells and whistles that we're going to have on a life insurance plan. So very straightforward from a life voluntary term life perspective. We do have the accelerated death benefit option. We've got the seatbelt rider, a lot of those additional riders that you're typically going to see on another plan. Our digital EOI is the nice piece with the voluntary term life product that we can get those decisions made fairly instantaneously to keep the enrollments moving, keep everyone enrolled and up to date. And then the other thing that I would mention from our life insurance product is that we do offer the grief support. It's through our EAP provider, which is TELUS. And so grief support, will prep is also an option, travel assistance, all tied to that life program. Technically, our full EAP is tied to the long-term disability, and I won't steal Tammy's thunder talking about the unique features of our EAP program, but know that if you do have a client who only has life and not long-term disability, it is an option to add full EAP to life. You would just need to let us know. So I will pass it off to Tammy for the DI, which I love, and we've got some good contract language there.
I know with Courtney's background in individual DI, we should have flipped this so she could touch on this, but that's okay. I would say before I dive into these products specifically, in general, we can write down to 2 lives on an employer paid basis. On a voluntary basis, we can go down to 5 lives on every product. Dental and vision voluntary, we can actually even go down to 2 lives. We just like to see around 20 to 30% participation, the greater of 5 or 20 to 30%. And we can get you more specifics per product, but kind of blanket statement, that's what we like to see. So we can definitely write down market, even on a voluntary basis. We also are standardly offering 24-month rate guarantee on all products. Even dental above 10 lives, you'll see a 24-month rate guarantee. Vision, we actually throw a 48th month on there, but all these other products you'll see 24-month rate guarantee. So very helpful when we're quoting up front. So getting into short and long-term disability, we have really strong contracts, especially down market. We don't always see as strong of contract language. Short and long-term, we're filed for a lot of variability. So standardly, you're going to see an or contract. We can write, or excuse me, standardly, you're going to see an and contract. We can request and quote an or contract. Very filed for both. So standardly it's going to be an and, which includes a 1% loss of income. So that's going to be pretty strong. We see a lot in our market here locally that's a 20% loss of income to qualify for benefit. We have 1% loss, easier to qualify for benefit, easier to receive benefit in the long run. We also allow members to earn up to 100% of pre-disability before we start to offset. So again, easier to qualify, easier to get back to work. We encourage the back to work by allowing them to receive up to 100%. Long-term disability, Courtney hit on this, but this has been key. This has been really important for our clients that may not be writing long-term. We can add our EAP onto life for no additional charge. So keep that in mind. EAP includes a little bit different language than I'm used to seeing too. For our face-to-face visits, we offer whatever is clinically necessary. So we don't have the standard 3 or 5 face-to-face visits. It's per the situation. If you need 10 visits to resolve your short-term issue, you get 10. If 3 takes care of it, you get 3. It's whatever is clinically necessary. So really strong contract. I would say overall, for all of our products, and Courtney highlighted this as well, we're trying to remove a lot of the, I would say, gotchas. A lot of the things that may hold up a claim or prevent a claim from being paid. We understand these are the group's benefits, they're paying for them. We want to make it quick, we want to make it easy, and when they qualify, they get paid as quick as possible as well. One way that we are doing that, and that comes in quite a bit with the disability and the worksite, is we're trying to be proactive with our payments. So here again, whenever necessary or whenever we are able to, if an event occurs and we're able to pay in one lump sum, we're doing that. If we know standardly your injury requires physical therapy, it requires x-rays, it requires a certain standard set of care, we'll be proactive and pay that up front rather than chasing down medical records and doctor's visits and things like that. So make it easy to qualify, make it easy to receive your benefit. Payments is going to be huge at claim time especially. Our work site here, accident, critical illness, hospital indemnity, I mentioned this, but we can write down market. At least 5 enrolled is what we need to see here. These products have a lot of levers that we can move. So we have starting points. We really have a low, a medium, and a high product. But typically we're going to try to match what's in force. If they don't have something in force or you want to see different options, again, we have from low to high options here, a ton of levers to move, and we can customize this as you need. As I'm seeing more and more of our quotes out in the market, this really does closely mimic more of like an individual policy because of how flexible we can be, but again, on that group chassis, group benefit platform. But you're going to see a lot of variability within these that we can customize it, we can tailor it to what your groups need, backed by how we handle our claims, one event, one claim. These are getting utilized a lot at a lot higher percentage as well. With our one event, one claim, anybody that has a worksite, we're capturing the wellness benefit, so that's getting utilized. A lot of the loss ratios on these products are really low because a part of it may be they don't fully understand how they qualify, when they qualify, what they have in force. So we're trying to take care of that by having the claims process that we have along with the claims payments being done and paid in bulk. One other slide here, and this is really one that we are excited about. I know OCI is as well. OCI has been an amazing partner for us so far. I know they're going to be really pivotal for us in the Midwest in just helping us share the story like we are today, helping us get to market, and helping just really our brand recognition within the group benefit space. So we have partnered with OCI and put together a pricing strategy. We don't have this for anybody else within the Midwest. So this is specific to OCI. 10 to 100 eligible lives, that's the group size that qualifies for this. What we're committing to within this size range is on a case level coming in the greater of 5% below current or 10% below renewal. That is for our dental, our vision, our life, and our disability. The greater of those two. So definitely, I know everybody does this, but when information is sent to OCI, the more the better. If we can ensure that we are matching current plans, plan designs, or offering the different variations that you guys want to see at renewal time, obviously the rates help as well, and specifically for this pricing strategy, so we can get dialed in. It does exclude a few carriers that, while we are new to the market and we know that we have to grow our book of business, we need to make sure that we do it healthy and have a strong book. So we did exclude a few carriers that we feel like would throw our block off if we're having to go farther than we would otherwise. This does run through 1/1/26 effective dates. That end date is a pretty loose date. As long as we are managing this appropriately, we have a healthy block and it's running well, there's no reason that we won't carry this into 2026 farther into the year. So right now we've committed through 1/1 effective dates. Hopefully we can continue it farther. More news to come there. Voluntary life and worksite products, we will match current. And I would say, hopefully, OCI has seen this firsthand as well. This is what we're committing to. If it makes sense to go a little bit deeper, or if it makes sense as a whole case that we can come in a little bit even more competitive, we will. Where it makes sense and where we can capitalize the most on a group situation, we'll absolutely take those case by case. Last thing that we wanted to share, and I know OCI will get everything out to you guys as well, is just Courtney and I's information. We definitely want to ensure that everybody fully understands kind of our vision, our value proposition, and help you guys present that to your clients. OCI does a great job of getting you guys what you need. We'll try to get them what they need as well. But we're more than happy to jump on a line, jump on the phone, meet you guys in person, whatever you need just to ensure that you have all the information to be successful. Are there any questions at all? That was the last piece we needed to run through. I haven't seen anything come through yet.
I think while you're maybe thinking of questions, I just want to say we are extremely excited about this partnership with Pacific Life. All the different features that they offer, the products, the full product line portfolio is extremely enticing and helps us and you guys, paint a better picture towards your customers. So, um, I know the ops team, the admin team are extremely excited as well. We're seeing phenomenal quotes come in at the moment in time from Pacific Life. So they're super competitive and they want to be visible in our market, and that's what makes us really excited to partner with them. We've had other carriers come in, not super hot and ready to go. They're ready to go. This really makes us excited to be partnering with them. So uh, I would just say with your customers coming up, possibly even right starting now, even on some of the 1/1 customers that you have, run those quotes over if you want to take a look at what they have to offer, and we can start spreadsheeting and looking at what we have. I know Tammy and Courtney are probably like, okay, we'll quote them. So hopefully, Tammy, right?
Yep, for
Okay.
sure.
We'd love to.
We can do that.
Yeah, we like doing, I always tell people, especially as we're getting started, because we're trying to earn your trust. I think Tammy and I both come from reputable carriers. We would not have left our jobs to come to Pacific Life if we didn't think that Pacific Life was actually doing cool things. We're a startup, but we're a startup backed by a very secure company with a lot of thought put into it. It's not somebody in their basement who said, I'm going to shake up the employee benefits industry. It's a lot of smart people coming from a lot of smart carriers and backgrounds. And so our goal is really to take the good from our past carriers, get rid of the antiquated pieces of our old carriers, and really be a fresh carrier option for you across the board. I will mention for anyone who's calling in from Minnesota, because I do see a couple of you, I forgot to mention, we do not have a Minnesota PFML product at this time. That absence management and PFML strategy is next on Pacific Life's radar of things to expand into. But when you're launching 8 products in 3 years and getting 50 state approvals across the board, we just weren't quick enough for 1/1/2026 for Minnesota PFML, but would still love to be a resource for you. I know there's groups who maybe the government is the best option just based on female content or occupations or ages or whatever the case is. If you're partnering with a shelter point or another private carrier who's specific to PFML, or if you simply don't want to have to package all your lines with a specific carrier, please reach out and we'd love to take a look.
And Courtney, I'll piggyback on that. I mean, as through OCI, we do have options for you for PFML, so definitely reach out and we can help you with that as well. So, any questions or any further questions in the chat? I can't see it, but
Well, shy. You're like, it's 70 degrees outside in July and gotta go.
well, I do want to thank you all for joining. Please feel free to reach out to OCI with any questions. Any of your teammates from the A's, ops team, admin team, we're happy to help. We've been going through this or getting ready for this for about a month now. So everybody should be well versed and ready to go on Pacific Life and can't wait for 1/1 to be successful with them. So I appreciate everyone's time.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for having us and look forward to working with you all.
Thank you.